Let's see if we can do this today. Good afternoon. Yeah, it is afternoon. Good afternoon, Facebook. Tim Gillette here, and I am actually working on a new blog post for tomorrow that I actually wanted to get the video done for today. So, in case you guys don't know me, I'm Tim Gillette. I'm a blog and video consultant here in the Dallas, Texas area. I help small businesses use marketing online, specializing with blog video, live stream video, YouTube videos, then blogging, to market your business. So I wanted to talk about something today that has become a very, very hot subject as of late. I've seen it pop up recently on a few different places online, both on Facebook as well as blogs. So you guys coming here today, all right, please go ahead and say hi. Tell me where you're listening in from. Tell me if you've had this happen to you, by all means. Let's use the comments for that today, because if you've had someone steal your content, all right, by all means, let me know. I'd love to see this, all right. I'm connected to some online lawyers, but I'm not truly friends with them, all right, but I know who they are. So, but I want to talk about this subject because, Bonnie Frank, thanks for joining today. Hey, Lou, thanks for joining up here, buddy. So, I actually talked about this a couple weeks ago, and some of you guys have seen me, and I'm showing you the piece of paper, and I'm being honest, and I guess I should cover the phone number that's in the corner in case it's somebody's that they don't want to see. So, Lou's watching from Seattle. Bonnie, I hope you're watching. I know where she lives. But, hey, Tim, thanks for joining. This is a piece of typewritten content that I got from a friend in 1993, maybe 94. And the gentleman I got it from, his first name is Frank. I'm not going to say his last name because he's not on social media. I have looked for him for the past few weeks. And a lot of people have asked me, hey, Tim, can you give me a copy of that? Because it is a great thing that if you're a Christian, it is some great biblical, as Christians, great biblical principles about success and money. And I'm not quoting this as saying this is like, if you follow this, you are going to be wealthy beyond all means. You're going to be the next Bill Gates. No, but it does give some principles that you should follow if you want to be successful and you are a Christian. And it gives them outlined from the Bible in a specific way that makes you think. And while the stuff comes from the Bible, all right, it is from the Bible. It is Bible verses with very little extra written in content. It is not mine. So I have been very, very, shall we say, worried about sharing it because it is not my content. And here's why, and I thought I'd discuss it today. I'm putting this in the video. I'm going to put this on the blog this weekend because I thought it was very, very detrimental to, hey, Ken Talbot, my old boss in here, Jessica, my favorite wine girl here. I thought I would make this into a video because this is something in the content creation world I think we may be able to talk about. And the idea lately, we've seen it, and I think... No, I'm not saying that he's stealing, but I'm going to say I think it's become very popular with Russell Brunson and funnel hacking and ClickFunnels. And I'm not saying that he is a thief in any way, but he has a very interesting concept. And what I think the word hacking becomes into, so many people think that they can just go steal content and make it their own. And it's what I wanted to avoid doing, and I've probably have some friends who are upset with me who want me to share this. And to me, it is not my material to share. It's just something I was given as a study that I could use. And if Frank ever says, Tim, you're free to share that, by all means, I'm going to share it with you, but I can't find Frank to get those permissions. I've not seen Frank in 20 years, 24 years, I think it's been. So it's been a long time. But I wanted to talk about today hacking versus stealing. And you see, Russell Brunson actually does this in what he calls funnel hacking. And he talks about the idea of taking something that is working and just duplicating the process. And if you go through with I'm not on ClickFunnels anymore. I don't use ClickFunnels. But you go through, you can actually buy set up funnels through a system they have that people have created funnels that you can just basically buy, put in your own content, and ship it and go. And I think there is nothing wrong with that because you create the idea. You're getting paid to share it and let other people use the same idea. You're not giving people word for word sales copy. You are actually out there giving people the information to actually put a system into action. And I think that is where his hacking is come in. So I don't want to to go in there and say, hey, just Russell Brunson's stealing. He's not. Russell Brunson has a serious business thing built on hacking, and that's what hacking is, all right, is instead of trying to always recreate the wheel yourself, actually find someone who's created the wheel, all right, buy their idea, get permission to use their idea, all right, whatever the thing is, and then take their idea and make it your own. Now, hey, Bob Donnell, I seen joining here, and someone who really, speaking of which, does his own is Bob Donnell, all right? I've seen Bob do his Next Level by Association out in California, and I've seen a lot of people use the term next level, but Bob has got one of the most unique things that is Bob's, and I just admire it, and that's someone who's taken a monthly event and he put a twist on it that was his own. So thanks for popping up, Bob, so I can use you as an example. But I wanted to talk more about the inspiration versus the creation thing. When I got started online, all right, and in 2010, 2010, maybe it was 11, that I actually went to a webinar, or might have been just a telesummit, I don't remember. And there was a gentleman on there who introduced me to the idea that I never, ever thought about, and that was private label stuff. All right, and I want to go into what private label is, but before I do that, I want to talk about, when it is not good to take someone else's content. I see Bonnie Frank, who was on here. I see Bob Donnell, who was on here. Both people who I idolize. And you're not my idols, but I look up to them. All right? Because they are doing things on the internet and they are blazing a path. They're not really recreating the wheel. They're blazing a path, though, that pretty much you can follow in behind and go, hey, that works. Let me take and plug in and use that same idea, but plug it into my system, all right, and put my name onto it, put my system to it, all right? Take the idea, the framework, the outline, and then I take the outline and turn out and make it Tim Gillette's outline, and I use some very same principles. It's just not saying the same thing. But that is not really, in a way, stealing. That is taking inspiration, all right? Bob Donnell, as I said, has a monthly event. I went to his monthly event, and I took notes. First of all, I met the gentleman who was there. His guest of honor that night was a fabulous now friend of mine. But I took his ideas and I went, I could tweak my local event and maybe take this part out of it and add this part over here because I got ideas by attending his event. I actually have Bonnie Frank, who's been on here. Bonnie Frank is actually gave me the idea to do the blogging and live stream challenge. And Bonnie does them on her own way, and she gave me the inspiration. And actually, when I come up with it, I actually called and wrote Bonnie and said, Bonnie, I'm coming up with this idea. I'm going to make it my own, and I'm going to use it as a download for people so that I can help build my list. And Bonnie was like, I don't own the name challenge. You can use the challenge. Just create it your own. I have no problem with that. It's totally different than what I'm doing. Go for it. So I took Bonnie's inspiration and I created a live streaming challenge and a blogging challenge. And mine is nothing more than 21 days of live streaming. Go live for 21 days straight. Follow the outline. Do whatever you have to do that the page says to do. And then you go on with the blogging, same thing. And you follow that outline. And usually within 21 to 30 days, we're using either format, you can tell what your audience wants to hear from you. That's how I created mine. I give that away as a free giveaway to people all day long. And I love doing it. It is something that I took an idea from Bonnie and I made it Tim Gillette's. And Tim Gillette uses it to build his business with it. All I did was take the word challenge from Bonnie. That's all I took from her. She didn't really own the word challenge. Everybody can do challenge. Live event. Bob Donnell does a live event. I've known Bob Donnell's done a live event for years, probably because my daughter used to work for him. But I knew this because I've known Bob since I met him. We started talking about what we do to help people. And I've always do that. Well, I also know Jeff Fagan, who's out in Arizona. I've been to Jeff Fagan's monthly event. I've taken inspirational points from Jeff Fagan's monthly event. There used to be a girl in here, Jennifer Looney, here in Dallas that did an event. I took pieces of that and made it part of my own. Hey, my cousin Shelly down here. Good to see you. I took those ideas and then I went, okay, let me incorporate that and make my own Mishmash monthly event. And I made it something that was so uniquely Tim. I made it around rock and roll because rock and roll inspires me. That's what I did. Now, when we get into the ideas where we go, okay, Tim, well, what's this stealing that you hear? Well, the ideas are online right now that what you can do is you can go out there and share, like I'm probably going to ask you all, maybe you should share this video up. Nothing wrong with taking this video, typing it, and said, hey, check out my friend Tim live, and you put it on your timeline. But if you took this video, all right, and you wrote down all of my notes, you transcribed it, and then you just did the same video with you talking instead of me talking, you made it your blog post instead of my blog post, now that's stealing. You're now going, hey, well, I'm claiming this is me. It would be like me. I'm looking at two different cameras. I actually have one up here, by the way, Bonnie. I'm actually on the Facebook Live on my business page, and down here I'm on my phone. And I am working on getting a higher thing so I can put my phone right here. And now I lost my whole train of thought. I love it when I do that. Hey, Eric Swanson, good brother there. Okay, Habitude Warrior, man. I love that guy. I totally lost my train of thought, Bonnie, with that. Thanks, Bonnie. Stealing things where I actually would take and recreate someone else's content and claim it as my own. And there is people out there that are doing it. Basically, they're taking the names off of it. They're posting the content. They're not saying who it comes from. And they're moving it to Facebook. In the social media world, guys, I realize it is easy to do that because so often we go out there and we see a meme we like, all right? We see a little a political cartoon we like. We see something like that. And we really, really want to go share it. But the problem we're not doing is we're not giving that person credit who created it. We're trying to make it our own like it was ours. That's why so many of us, if you see any of the memes that Bonnie Frank puts up, she's always got her name onto it, her Twitter handle, her Facebook handle in there. And you should always do that because the idea of people stealing your content and using it and claiming it as their own is getting to be a little bit out of hand, and it becomes too easy in social media world. All right, where people go, oh, that's a great idea. And then they go, oh, man, you created that idea. I have a lot of ideas that I don't create. I just actually do it. People steal photo images still the time via the screenshot. Yeah. I actually did the very concept of stealing photos. All right. I'm going to tell you the truth. All right. I did it once. I did it on a blog. But what I did was I was watching TV the night that Jennifer Lawrence fell at the Oscars. And I paused my TV. I got up, got my phone, rewinded it a couple minutes, hit the play button, and snapped a picture of the TV screen. And I used that picture for my blog post, Jennifer Lawrence Falls at the Oscars, the next day. That was taken with my camera off of a television set, and I almost always go, when I do that, I almost always take a picture of it, and you can see the outlines of the computer or TV, so you can say, hey, I seen this on TV, and it inspired me. So I don't claim to be the television station doing it. I didn't steal the picture was technically mine. I actually, just looked at it somewhere. But this idea that you can go out there, and by the way, I've gotten cease and desist orders for pictures that I thought I owned that I had to have taken down, that I didn't own. I bought the rights from the wrong people. There was one that someone supposedly, and this was a whole sidetrack, but supposedly, we still can't figure it out. We got a letter from the big photography company saying that this was on our blog and website, and we couldn't find it on there anywhere. And the best we could figure out was somebody went in there, put it on there, put a picture of it, all right, and then took it off because that was right around the same time that my website was hacked. And we're like, they got in there to put the picture there, all right, and then tried to get us to pay the fines for having the picture on our website. But we couldn't find the picture in the files, in the back pages, all right. I mean, literally, my lawyers and my IT team, they went through my files on my server, and they could not find this picture that they said was theirs and not mine. And I'm like, well, how the hell did they did that on my site? Anyway, but point is people do steal. You don't want to be a stealer of content. You want to be able to create your own. Now, there are ways out there that you can actually get content and get help. My books that I wrote, my first book, You Can't Always Get What You Want, was nothing more than an outline I bought from somebody, and I bought it on what's called a private label site. I bought the rights to use it, all right, private labels, and I was able to recopy that and put my own stories behind it and put it in there because I bought the rights to use it. There is private label stuff out there that you can go get that, and you have the rights to take it, doctor it, adjust it, and then claim it as your own. And there's a website out there that I've used, all right, for private labels to do it. The other place is you go into to the public domain. There is stuff out there, and you just take the public domain and redo it. This technically is off of public domain information. It is technically, all right, the Bible. The Bible is public domain. You can actually do things from the Bible. However, there are pieces from it that are not from the Bible, and that was personal notes that this gentleman, Frank, had put in there, and that's the piece I don't want to have shared because that's Frank's notes, not Tim's notes. So, I'm not sharing it until Frank either gives me permission or I have to rewrite it using the scripture verses and put Tim's notes in there and not Frank's notes. The Bible, though, is public domain. You can go in and do that, all right, if you're, well, you know what I mean. Bonnie, the Jewish people, you guys watch, or you guys use the Old Testament of the Bible, I think, and I'm not in any other religion or denomination, so I don't know. But anyway, you can probably take pieces from that and then refer it to success. That's where you get public domain. The point of this whole thing, guys, that I want to share with you today is you have got to, all right, you have got to take inspiration, not steal the content. Take inspiration, not steal the content. When you are actually out there looking for ideas, there is nothing wrong with taking ideas that I have. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, there's an idea that I actually had. And I've been teaching this for 2 years, 3 years, about 2 years, because I think it's 15 or 16 that I get into live streaming. And for about 2 years, I've been teaching this idea of live streaming, all right, and taking the content and putting it into a podcast and then making it into a blog, all right, and spreading it around. And a very successful online marketer basically in the past 90 days has been teaching exactly what I've taught. Now, I'm not mad at all because it's really not a patented system. It's I like to say simple, easy system because that's what the marketing word I'm going after is simple, easy. It's a simple, easy system. I just have been teaching it for years. He's teaching it, but he's teaching it, all right, he works in sales. He doesn't work in blogging. So he's teaching the very concept I teach to teach people to blog, to build their brand, and get more sales. He's teaching it to teach people how to use social media to get sales. So am I upset with him? No, I'm not upset with him at all. By all means, all right, I am not upset when people, and here comes my mother while I do a live stream. My mother always shows up when I do a live stream. All right, when you're actually borrowing it, though, and I do ideas, I do not work on ideas that were not only inspired. Yes, Mother, I'm online again. But I borrow the idea, all right, and I tweak it to make my own. I take the inspiration. So Bonnie Frank, when Bonnie actually went out and created that whole idea, Janet Tingwald, how are you, girl? When Bonnie actually created that challenge, I went through her challenge, and that's when I went through it is what inspired me. I need to do this, but I need to do this in a way that people can create content, all right, using inspiration of their own. So I created my own challenges, but I was inspired by Bonnie Frank to do that. Live events. I was inspired to do live events, all right, actually I started my first event right after I met Bob Donnell the first time, by Bob Donnell. I was inspired by Jeff Fagan. I was inspired by Jennifer Looney, she's here in the Dallas area, and I really don't see her much anymore. But I was inspired by them. It's how I did my monthly event. I currently now host a monthly event with Craig Duswald, so I don't really steal other people's. I use Craig's outline, and I just use his outline from the event. But the idea is, ladies and gentlemen, you have to go out and know when to take the inspiration. You do not take other people's content and just copy it out and put it out as your own. It's wrong. You can quote people. You can write a quote book all day long. So I started all this and I went through this today because I did that, because I found this piece. And for those of you who are Christians and you want a copy of this, I'm sorry, I'm still not able to share it. I will, what I am going to do, because I talked about it, is I'm not, the guy who wrote it, his name is Frank, and I'm not telling his last name because he's not. I met Frank through Amway. He was my Amway upline in Pennsylvania, and I think he still lives in Pennsylvania. He is not on social media, and I've not found him on social media. I don't even know if he's got an email address. He may not. I don't know. I don't know how to connect to him. But I am going to retype it. I'm going to retype the scripture verses without Frank's notes into it because I don't feel I should take Frank's inspiration and just give it away, but I am then going to make it into something that is in a charitable donation. You have to give a charitable donation to get it, is what I'm going to do. because I don't want to take money for doing it. But I'm going to take his inspiration, because when I read through it the other day, I realized that a lot of the framework of inspiration and my computer screen just went blank, like you wouldn't believe, guys. The inspiration behind it was totally when I go in and look at my book, You Can't Always Get What You Want. The outline kind of follows the same framework that this does. And I was taught this 25 years ago. So, in a way, this kind of inspired my book. If you haven't got a chance to get it, I don't even think it's available anymore. I have to get more copies and be able to sell them to you guys. But anyway, so that's all I want to go with you guys today. I hope this helps you guys. Please do not, all right, if you've ever had someone steal your content, all right, by the way, put it in the comments. I want to know today, all right? If this helped you, by all means, share it out and say, hey, listen, I was worried about this, all right? If you've had your content stolen, here's some good things that Tim said about having content stolen, when you should borrow and when you should not, what you should steal, what you shouldn't steal, how to do things right. All right, share it out. Let me know. I appreciate everybody coming in here live today. We had a lot of people. Anybody got any questions on this before I close it down? So I'm going to actually put my glasses on so I just read some of Bonnie's notes, because Frank has some awesome notes on this. We have a good mindset. So yes, just the first book. All right. See, Bonnie, had my mom been here, I would have been able to answer that question. You're watching on Facebook. So down here, by the way, this is my Facebook page, my profile page, which I do not copy this. The reason I do this on two other things is up here is being recorded on using my eCam, and my eCam is then going to be put onto a YouTube thing, which will be put onto my blog tomorrow. So see some of the people who've joined down here: Mark Holmes, Emil, I don't know Emil. All right, Shelly, my cousin here. Robert C. Stern, I've not heard your name in a long time. Connie, good to see you. Bobby, hey, Bobby's on here. So it was good to see all you guys on here today. I appreciate all that. And I didn't even see if I had the comment page up here. John Mailer was watching today. Hey, John, thanks for watching, man. I haven't seen your name up in a long time. So, and I can't get my comments page up, and I don't know where the comment section went to up here. Anyway, so that's all I got for you guys today. I hope this has helped you by all means. And Don Brown, I think you just joined in. Catherine Robertson, you just joined in. Thanks for coming in. By all means, if you're watching this on the replay, just type replay in the comments. Let me know that you watched this. Let me know what you got from it. I'd love to hear from you, all right? And I'd love to know if you've ever had someone steal your content or steal your ideas and how you feel about it. I'm Tim Gillette. You want to find out more about me, go to nottompetty.com. Sign up for my email list, and maybe even go to blogandvideocon.com and come to our next blog and video event here in Dallas, Texas. I'm Tim Gillette. I will catch you later.